Why, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host, Nate Branco, here, bringing Showcase Central episode 20 to you guys on a brilliant Monday afternoon. All right, I got to get this off my chest real quick. Two things. Number one, I want to apologize to you guys for not bringing in episode 20 to you guys on Friday. I had some stuff going on, and unfortunately, I just didn't have time to do it. And by the time I got home, I was exhausted, and I was just like, you know what? I can't do this today. I'm just going to bring it to them on Monday. The people will understand. And second, I am so sorry for the shitty of quality that is my room. Literally, it looks like it's a laser show in here. I've tried messing around with the blinds, and unfortunately, the sun's just shining in my room. I've even tried with LED lights. The LED lights is the best I can do. So, for this video, enjoy the laser show that is my room at this point. But hey, who cares? I'm still going to bring you guys some pretty solid content today. So today, I'm actually going to talk about a lot of pitching that's going around in the MLB right now. So I've gathered news such as extensions, some trades, some Shohei Ohtani news that actually has to do with pitching. And I'm also going to talk about the athletics drama that is going on, the news of over there, the potential rumors. We're going to talk about that today on episode 20. So, you know what? Let's just get right into it. Pitching extensions. We're going to talk about Chase Burns of the Cincinnati Reds. The young starting pitcher, the 23-year-old, was given 7 years and $105 million contract. It is the largest guarantee given to a pitcher with less than 4 years of service time. He has an 11-1 record with a 2.54 ERA and was the second pick out of Wake Forest in the 2024 amateur draft. Wake Forest, fun fact for you guys, has one of the best pitching in the nation. Wake Forest is a really good college, so any of you guys that want to pursue a career like in baseball and just so set on it and playing sports over there, Wake Forest, guys. You know, Wake Forest, Tennessee, Vanderbilt, Florida, USC, UCLA, whatever. Whatever college, high school, college people that are watching this and that love baseball, take a look. Get a scholarship over there. You'll work your ass off. This deal buys out 2 of Burns' free agent years, has no club options, and runs through 2033. This is the third biggest contract in Reds history behind extensions given to Joey Votto, which has 10 years, $225 million, and Ken Griffey Jr. that had 9 years and $116.5 million. I'm going to tell you guys something right now. This is perfect. I like this move very, very much. The Cincinnati Reds are clearly invested in this guy. They plan on keeping him for the future. They said, hey, you're not going anywhere. You are staying with us until when your contract expires. Cincinnati has Hunter Green and Chase Burns as their solid 1 and 2 for the future. Hunter Green, actually not that long ago, was actually given a pretty solid extension of his own from the Reds. So I feel like they're more locked in on the future. So that's awesome. I feel like with them two, you're going to get some pretty solid performances. Cincinnati's already thinking to the future, which is lovely. I feel like this is not going to be the only thing that they're going to be extending, such as player-wise. I feel like aside from the 1 and 2, I feel like they got to go look into the lineup Heck, look at Sal Stewart. I feel like they're going to lock him up real soon. They're going to, because he's having a solid season of his own, and he's a rookie. He's going to be given a nice little cheap contract. It's going to be, I feel like it's going to be something to do with like 6 years, 100 mil, or even 90 mil, something like that. Even Ellie De La Cruz, who is the heart and soul of that lineup, I feel like he's going to get an extension as well. I feel like they're not done, but it is awesome to see that they have their young pitching in order. And it is something to actually, I feel like these two are going to pan out. Hunter Green, I know he's been injured this year. Chase Burns has pretty much been stepping it up. He's actually he actually was an all-star this past few days, which is nice because it seems like he's progressing. Cincinnati likes what they see. But honestly, if you can get Burns and Green healthy in the same season, Cincinnati is definitely going to win some games, and we'll see what goes on with them in their future years. It's lovely to see. I love it. Let's talk about Kyle Bradish, the starting pitcher of the Baltimore Orioles. He was given a 5-year, $90 million contract. It actually buys out 3 years of free agency for him, and it runs through 2031. So far this season, he has a 6-9 record and a 3.61 ERA in his first full season back from Tommy John surgery in 2024. In 5 major league seasons with the Orioles, he has posted a 3.50 ERA. You know what? This one's deserved as well, because you look at that Baltimore rotation, it is complete dog shit. It really is. You have guys that have ERAs in the fours. You look at Rogers, you look at Kremer, and I'm just like, you guys are veterans. I'm like, why aren't you stepping up? You have a youngster like Kyle Bradish actually holding up the rotation as the ace. It's crazy. I'm like, wow, what's going on there? But I mean, he hasn't been all that bad. I know the record doesn't really show for it, but he's actually been holding up Baltimore's rotation. In my opinion, I feel like Baltimore's rotation hasn't been the same since the days, actually, that season when they had Corbin Burns. Corbin Burns had a spectacular season for Baltimore a few years back, and he actually left after one season. He signed a huge deal with the Arizona Diamondbacks, and next thing you know, he's out. You know how it is. These guys get their big contracts, and next thing you know, they're injured. It's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. And then, you got a guy like John Means. John Means, ever since he was injured, I think at least twice or something like that, he was never the same. So that's Baltimore. I know they're like a few games under 500 right now, but honestly, if I'm them, they're probably going to try and go for a starting pitcher for the foreseeable future, or even just for the foreseeable rest of the season. But if I'm them, try and get some pitching, DFA some guys that are in the rotation. But yeah, that's what's going on with Kyle Bradish. Good for the Baltimore Orioles. They got their young pitcher for the future. Good for them. But I mean, hey, I don't know how Baltimore is going to go far in the rest of the season. They got to go through Boston tonight. Go Red Sox. Shout out to them on their 13-game streak. But Bradish has been solid so far this season, so we'll see how he does the rest of the way. Pitching trades. We're going to talk about the Cubs. The Cubs actually snagged starting pitcher Aaron Civale, something like that, from the A's, along with cash considerations for minor league pitcher Aiden Moffett. He joins a Cubs rotation that is without Cade Horton, Edward Cabrera, Ben Brown, and Justin Steele gone. Excuse me. But I mean, this move isn't really much. Aaron Savall, he's not really good at all. But I mean, I think this is just a minor move that the Cubs just want to do. The Cubs rotation sadly is hurting. They actually own the top wildcard spot in the National League. I'm surprised that they're up there right now. For a National League Central that is held up by one of MLB's best, the Milwaukee Brewers, the Cubs sure are hanging in there. I feel like it's their lineup that's actually keeping them afloat, which is nice to see because they really do have a talented lineup. And the pitching that they actually have up right now, you actually have Shota Imanaga, you have Jameson Taillon that just came back, you got Matthew Boyd that's still in there. But the rest of them, it's shitty because it's shitty to see them in that position because honestly, the Cubs could have one of the best rotations on paper if everyone was just healthy. But I mean, hopefully you get a few of these guys back. Cabrera, Brown, Justin Steele, and Horton. Those poor guys are gone for the season. Justin Steele, I felt like could have been really good, but injuries just kept biting him in the ass. Cade Horton, this dude was destined for a possible NL Cy Young year, but he got pretty much killed off as well. And I'm just like, oof. I'm like, this is terrible for the Cubs. And it was just before the season started. And I'm like, ugh. But hey, if anything, I feel like the Cubs are not done yet. I feel like they will grab another starting pitcher. And it will just, I don't know if it will take them anywhere. But this starting pitcher, maybe it's Skubal. Maybe it's somebody that we don't even know is on their radar, but it is pretty nice to see them actually make a little, it's just a little veteran move. He's probably going to be the fifth pitcher or whatever. But hey, I don't think they're done. This is just I feel like this is only just the beginning for Cubs. Cubs fans are actually keeping their fingers crossed right now. Lance McCullers Jr. Lance McCullers Jr. to the Milwaukee Brewers. Colton Gordon was shipped off as well. The Astros actually get Jaden Fielder, outfielder / DH. He is the son of Prince Fielder and grandson of Cecil Fielder. The Brewers also pick up $2.5 million of McCullers' remaining $6 million plus salary in the final year of his 5-year, $85 million contract. There is no Brandon Woodruff and Kyle Harrison. Well, Woodruff a few days ago was just announced that he was out for the rest of the season. It's actually the same injury that he occurred in 2023, which sucks, man, because Brandon Woodruff has been freaking solid his whole career for the Milwaukee Brewers, his whole 9 years. And Kyle Harrison, he's on the 15-day IL for the time being. Milwaukee is actually top 3 in pitching wins and in ERA this season. I give them, and that is literally with just Jacob Mizorowski carrying the rotation. He's been awesome. He's probably going to be the NL Cy Young, man. He's awesome, man. But, yeah, Lance McCullers, man. It's shitty what's happened to him. It really has. Lance McCullers, man, he is a 2-time World Series champion. He was solid. He was okay for the Astros. Honestly, I feel like he could have been so much better if he wasn't injured. He was often injured. It was so crazy to see. I was a fan of his too. I was really hoping the best for him. There was times where he was either hit or miss. I feel like Astro fans were just stressed out with this guy. They're like, oh no, he's on the IL. Here we go again. And it's just, and then, when he was good, he was good. I don't know. It was just, I feel like he was very bipolar with the fans. It was just, yeah, it's a shame. Astro fans, they're probably a little bummed out to see him go, but at the same time, he was just not really doing much at that time. Astros are having pitching problems of their own, so they were just like, hey, we're going to ship his contract out. Milwaukee can deal with him. But honestly, with McCullers, they actually took him off the IL, the Brewers. But I mean, with no Harrison and Mizorowski dealing with a bunch of scrubs at the moment, I can actually see McCullers being thrusted into the rotation and actually being a guy that can actually help out Mizorowski. Being like I can see him being with Harrison probably being thrown back in there at some point. I can see him being a solid 3. Mizorowski, Harrison, McCullers. I could see that being a top 3 being in the postseason, divisional round, wild card, wherever. I could see him rejuvenating his career a little bit. I hope so, because he's been through a lot of injuries, a lot of Tommy John. Just, it's shameful to see. I only hope the best for McCullers, man. Alrighty, let's talk about Shohei Ohtani. This has been some crazy injury news that I actually just want to address. It actually has to do with his left knee. He's taken a break from pitching. He's been killing it this year, whether he's pitching, whether he's hitting. But he recently had lubricant injected into his left knee. He was supposed to start Wednesday against the Phillies, but will stay off the mound indefinitely as he deals with irritation in left knee. He hasn't pitched since July 3rd against the Padres, and he told the Dodgers training staff that his knee wasn't progressing as he expected before throwing his bullpen session. He is expected to pitch again this season, but will need time to heal. Yeah, you know what? When you're pitching, obviously your knee plays a factor, and when you're wind up and so on, and especially with stretching, so that could definitely hurt as well. So I definitely see where he's coming from, so he probably feels it. But luckily he's a DH. So obviously the Dodgers want to keep his bat in the lineup. Still the best team in baseball, and don't want to keep the best player out of baseball. You guys know what I mean. So obviously they want to keep a break. They are fine. This rotation will not struggle without him in the lineup. Got Yamamoto. You have Justin Wroblewski having a great season. You have Roki Sasaki. And now you still have Emmett Sheehan. Emmett Sheehan, he's not bad himself. But that rotation's not going to struggle without him. They'll be fine. They'll just be down a guy. But, hey, it is what it is. Heck, yesterday, you literally saw them against the Yankees freaking throwing bullpen games. They were literally pitching guy one inning, another guy another, and another. I was just like, I remember watching it last night, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? I'm like, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I'm like, are they not taking this team seriously? Because I know they played a doubleheader and they beat them 8-2, and they were already winning in the series against the Yankees. Heck, they own the Yankees ever since the 2024 World Series. But, hey, I mean, if you want to throw a bullpen game here and there, it is what it is. Pitch two innings, or something like that, pretty much like they did last night. But, I mean, I don't think this should be much of a worry for the Dodgers. The Dodgers don't really worry about anything nowadays. You could just tell from the mentality and the ego of that team, which is insane, but whatever. The A's to trade Shea Langeliers? That's a possible rumor, guys, honestly. So both sides actually haven't gotten nowhere as a potential new deal. Shea Langeliers is having a killer of a season, a 260 average, 22 home runs, and 50 RBIs, and a OPS of 821. The A's are 42 and 57, being fourth in the AL West, and could look into trading the 28-year-old catcher. The A's in their last 10 games are 1-9. They've been absolutely shitty. It sucks because this team had a lot of potential going into the season, and just as the season was rolling, everyone's like, "Ooh, all right, they're getting in there. They're finally clicking as a team." But I mean, after that stretch, 15 under 500, yeah, you're pretty much out at this point. You're pretty much throwing in the towel. Honestly, I have some potential suitors who I think that could actually grab Shea Langeliers. So I actually have the Yankees because honestly, Austin Wells has one of the lowest OPSs in baseball for a catcher, and he's just not panning out this season as well. And the backup, JC Escara, he's actually not performing well either. So the Yankees floating in between those guys. I could see the Yankees making a little blockbuster move for him. Maybe dealing one of those guys, and probably maybe throwing in a Jason Dominguez or even one of their, maybe even Spencer Jones. They might throw in Spencer Jones in there. I don't know yet, but that's something I could see being done. And a second team I could see is the Boston Red Sox. Honestly, you guys really think that Wong and Narvaez are really panning out? No. Honestly, I could see Langeliers going to both those contending teams, going onto a potential World Series run. Shea Langeliers deserves to be on a World Series caliber team. And if the Red Sox had to actually go for a trade with him, I could see them dealing either Wong or Narvaez. I could see one of those two being dealt. And I could see them throwing in a starting pitcher, like a Jake Bennett, a Brian Bayo. But, and also, yeah, I could see him throwing some cash in there too or something like that. But yeah, that's just a little mock trade just threw out there. But yeah, they haven't gotten anywhere with contract extension with Langeliers. And the A's actually have locked up their kids for the future so far. They have Tyler Soderstrom, Brent Rooker, Lawrence Butler, and Jacob Wilson. Those are the guys that got locked up for the future. And right now, with this topic, I'm actually going to bring up one of their young kids that they actually haven't locked up yet. So let's talk about Nick Kurtz. Nick Kurtz's contract situation is looking kind of ugly at the moment. He turned down a long-term contract, which is $130 million from the A's. He is currently betting on himself, and he thinks he's worth more. And in my opinion, I think he is. The A's drafted Kurtz 4th overall in the 2024 draft and initially signed for a $7 million signing bonus. The 2025 AL Rookie of the Year, the team tried to lock him up for a 9-figure deal, but he did not budge. He's not eligible for free agency until 2031. Could he get a fat-ass contract in the future? Yes. He's had an amazing season last year, and he's had an amazing season this year. That is crazy how the A's are giving him that they wanted to give him $130 million. What the hell is wrong with you? That is cheap as all hell. He deserves, honestly, I'm going to go out on a limb right now and say that man is worth at least $250 million. Kurtz is awesome, man. He is the centerpiece of your future. The A's cannot afford to lose this guy. He is good in every form. He plays really good defense. He's power with the bat. He's a guy that you want in your everyday lineup. He's not worth losing. You need to sign this guy, whatever he wants. But we all know how the A's are. The A's are cheap. The A's, with those players I actually just mentioned, they signed them for cheap. You know, a hometown discount type of deal. Hometown deals. It looks like they were trying to do that with Nick Kurtz. But Nick Kurtz was like, ha, you're funny. That's not happening. He honestly is worth much more than what those guys are worth. And especially at his position, I do think that he is worth 250. He is elite at this point. He's a elite rising star. He's going to be big time in this league, I think. The A's are honestly, I don't know what they're thinking with this. I think it's just ridiculous. They need to give this man more money, but we all know that they won't. But Nick Kurtz is a player that I could see not lasting long in the A's organization in the future. I will say this. I think he will be around for probably a few years in Las Vegas. And then I can actually see him requesting a trade in the next few years because I don't think he's going to like what they are doing with him in the contracts or what they possibly could be giving him. But I mean, we'll see. Maybe the A's bolster up the asking price that he wants. And obviously, I don't blame him for wanting to bet on himself either. So, I mean, hey, I just hope they do right by the man because he is a great first baseman and he's an all-around great player. Alright guys, that is it for Showcase Central episode 20 on a Monday afternoon. Like and subscribe on this channel and on this video. I will see you guys on Friday for another episode of Showcase Central. Alright guys, be safe, have a great week, and enjoy yourselves.